they're not transparent at all when it comes to why we pay as much as we do or what they use their money for.
How much funding is coming through?
Oh yes, they'll just tell you, we take the money, we use it for research. How? What are you researching when people are not going to school?
Like I heard people say it's over 400 million rand or something.
For research.
Just waiting to just be spent.
Yeah. And then, I mean, at med school we asked, because we had an uprising, finally med school was like, yeah, we've had enough. Finally we came to the party. And we asked the dean, dude, can we please get a breakdown of why we pay as much money as we do? So each year and each field got a breakdown of why we pay as much as we do. We pay for air. I swear to God, I promise you, we probably pay for air. Because the oxygen to be on UCT property, it does not make sense. The guy, something more, I can't remember his name, he's an acting dean at the moment, could not answer our questions as to why we pay as much as we do. He doesn't know why. We pay for an elective. Take this year for example. There's this thing called an elective where you can go elsewhere in the country or anywhere else in the world and go work for 4 weeks, and then there's a 2-week one. You finance it. Not I go to UCT and I claim my money and then I go. No, it's part of the fee inclusion. What am I paying for if I'm not here? I'm paying for a course for what? Admin. Why am I paying 1,800 rand for someone to mark my thing? Mind you, the registrars don't get paid. Those are the people that teach us in the hospital. They don't get paid to teach us. We pay money. We don't pay the people that are teaching us. So where's our money going to? I don't know. We don't get textbooks. Textbooks. So it's so expensive. We don't get textbooks.
New edition every year.
Yeah. And they write some of these books and we don't get them for free. Like the least that you could do is if you're the one that makes the edition, give it to us for free. But no, we have to pay. There's this thing called a SAD, it's a South African Medicines Formulary. It's got all the medicine in it. 1,060. It changes every 2 years. But you have to 1,060 for something that's going to change, and you need it. You just can't go without it. The library has some available on short loan. It's not even you can take it home. I don't understand what I'm paying for. The guy doesn't understand what I'm paying for. We're still waiting for the breakdown as to why we are paying the money that we are. And that's not just across medicine. I'm pretty sure if you look at every course and if you look at every degree, we're paying exorbitant amounts of money and we don't know why. Even the people that are in admin don't know why. So if we could answer those questions, maybe we could start cutting fees. It doesn't make sense why we as UCT pop out the same amount of graduates as UKZN and every other university, but they are 50% less. They pay fees that are 50% less than us. I'm not, like, what am I paying for? The title. I'm from UCT. At the end of the day, I'm a doctor. Everyone's a doctor. It doesn't make sense. Like, they really need to answer those questions.
So, just to be clear, is your suggestion that they should be more transparent in the budget on what exactly
for everything, and start cutting costs where they can. We are like a university that was not meant to be in this country. It doesn't make sense because every other university is not like us. We are like a European university in Africa. That's what we are. Because it's literally what we are. Even if you look at the demographics, aren't there like 27,000 students here? But a greater majority of them is white. But the population demographics are different. How?
Even Wits doesn't do that though.
How does that work? And we're like, no, we're okay, transformation, great. No, don't lie to me. This is a dream that they said. Don't sell me that dream. So, black tax basically is when you are taxed by your family. It's money that you pay, well, not really pay, it's basically you helping out. Because as a black person, we live with that saying of umntu ngabantu, so a person is a person through other people. So just because you've made it, you don't abscond and leave your family. So me, for example, once I graduate, then I know without a doubt that it's not even I have to, it's also I want to give back to my parents and my grandparents and my brother and my sister. Well, I don't have, but my cousin sisters if they would. But it's just, yeah, being taxed by your family basically. It's not even for after they graduate, it's for when they're still in university. It's to recognize that family, not even the individual, has other responsibilities. So for example, my parents, they're paying for me and my little brother, and then it's got dependents on there, and it's got like, I think 1 block per dependent. So it's got like my mom and my dad and their gross income and how much they make, and then dependents. But then some people, and it goes up to I think 8. What if someone has more than 8 dependents? Then what? And how do you quantify it? Because the problem is that with that block that you're filling in and those details that you fill in, you need proof. But how do you prove that you're supporting your whole family? What proof am I going to get? Like, I gave my uncle this much, okay, uncle, I don't understand how you're supposed to prove that. It's just something that we all know exists. It's an unsaid thing, but for some reason it's just not, no one takes account for it.
I don't want to sound a bit presumptuous, but I like to think that each and every black person, like, you know, through our customs and traditions, there's black tax, of which it also speaks also to the religious side. You know, you have to honor your parents, and you know, our parents, they probably like struggled to get us to this point, you know, like, so the least that you can do, you have to like show that the aspect of gratitude, and that gratitude, it's by you relieving your parents from their parental duties, and you actually like step in, but you don't step in terms of like asserting your power, but you kind of step in presenting like financial assistance. And I really like to think that especially these funding agencies, if they're going to provide them for black students, that is one clause that needs to be taken into consideration. But then it might present like a problem, because other racial groups, they might feel like they are being ostracized. They might be like, okay, so does it mean that you guys don't take into consideration like our own traditions that we might have? But I'm speaking as an African, and I'm addressing African problems. And I like to think that NSFAS is a South African entity that does not get international funding, because I like to think that the money of it comes straight from the government. So I really like to think that they really need to take that into consideration, that okay, cool, so this person is a black student, is at UCT studying engineering. Okay, so we understand that this is something that he has to do for himself and for his family. So we're just gonna add a bit of discount here and there, maybe like 5% off or 3% off because of that black tax. Because after all, say you earn 15,000 as a start of salary, you're gonna pay your rent for 5,000. Your family might need 6,000, and NSFAS will also like need that money. So how much will I be left with, like for myself? So you see, like it won't be fair.
To be honest, obviously, you know, interest is not a good thing, like, you know, that you have to pay. But if you think of it, you see, they are giving you your money, they're giving you the money, right? And we know about the time value of money, like, you know, the money that they paid you then is worth much less in the future. So I feel like what they are doing is they are just protecting themselves, because they are paying you an amount and they're trying to get the same thing back. So I feel like from their perspective, they are helping us in a way, but they're also keeping themselves protected, which I feel it's fair. Because I mean, already they're giving you funding. You can't get everything you want. You know, you have to sacrifice. Like scarcity is a problem. So if I would have to pay the interest, I would probably like I think a good thing would be to, ask them to, reduce it. But if they can't, then we have no choice but to pay it back. And also, just because there's interest, you mustn't think, okay, now, this is like exploiting my finance, and you don't pay them back at all, which is just wrong, because, they rely on you to pay them back so that they can fund the future generation. So you're not only, just breaking the rules for yourself, like, not applying, but also you're causing them difficulty. So, I feel like the interest, it's sort of a fair deal, but if they can reduce it, it would be like a great thing. Yeah.
Sometimes you just ask yourself, what's the point of continuing pursuing your studies further, Whereas on the other side, the interest is accumulating, this is the debt that you've incurred for coming to school, and it's not fixed, it's accumulating, and you also, by studying, you're making another debt, Yeah, for example, as I said earlier, that I owed about 115 current here, and someone paid it for me, and I'm paying that person back. Now, after finish paying this person, you think, at least now you can breathe. No, there's NFSAs waiting for you. So when you start working, you will have to pay them. I know it's the last SMS that I received from them, so probably 120 or 120,000 that I owe themselves. So now, at home there are expectations that when you're done with your studies, it's going to be this relief, you support your family and things like that. And not knowing that you actually incurred that you need to pay.
Personally with me, they didn't allow me to take out the loan because they said that amount is too big and it's an unsecured loan. So because it was an unsecured loan, they didn't allow me. I was about 20 years old at the time, just fresh out of high school. And so now I had to go research, okay, so I need to get a loan. How do people get loans? What do the different interests mean? So that's for large, like that was my registration weekly. This is learning loans. And so during that time, I went to like AG Loan, they posted on campus, you think they're going to be helpful. They weren't responsive. And I think it was because of the time of the year. They just acknowledged they got my details, but they weren't like giving me tips even when you called them. These numbers you call and you ring, you're talking to just ring basically. But anyway, so the problem with ABSA, the student account loan, if I had to take it in my own name, I could only take it up to about 20,000 Rand. That 20,000 Rand wasn't just a basic loan. That loan, they were offering me 29% interest on that amount. In terms of that, what ended up happening eventually was that we borrowed within the family, my dad's side, so we paid for that year. The year after, when my dad couldn't pay, my mom, because she's part of FNB, so she got an unsecured loan from FNB to pay off basically the arrears for the whole year, because we weren't paying monthly, so it had accumulated. So we managed to get a loan last year from FNB so that I could register for last year.
I thought about it and I was like, when Umpo told me about it, I was like, I don't like speaking around people. And then that's why I asked you earlier how many people would be in the discussion, because I was having my reservations. And when you said 5, I was like, yeah, 5 people are fine, But I thought it was very nice hearing what other people had to say as well, Especially Uprince, I didn't know about I feel like his experience is way too deep, and it was good hearing from another person's side of the story, because we all know just what we know, what happens to us, because it's not like we just randomly talk about stuff like this. So it was good for me to hear what has happened to other people as well, and that other people kind of have the same feelings towards NSFAS as I do. But although I feel like I was the happiest person with NSFAS in the group, but it's good to hear other people's point of view, because I kept agreeing with what he was saying, and her, the girl was sitting here, I don't remember her name, but yeah, her experience is